Hi Libra, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread. Love this spread a lot. I think it's really insightful, really clever, and a really intelligent spread to have. I'll try it on myself first. Before I do any readings on the channel, I'll always try them on myself first, because then I know the accuracy and I also know how the flow of the reading goes. Readers will do this spread in their own way. We've got 21 cards here. I usually shuffle the deck, put the deck on the table, split it into 3, gather it back up, and then start dealing the cards from right to left in rows. So we've got 3 rows of 7 and 7 columns of 3. Okay, I'll usually read column downward. All right. My reading that I did on myself, I didn't ask a question. There wasn't a question to ask in particular. I just wanted to get a general feel of what was coming up, and it was absolutely accurate. In fact, the very next day, what I saw in the immediate future and the outcome actually occurred, and everything else was completely spot on. So it was amazing. So what we're looking at here is your mental stroke emotional state in column 1, and this should show how you're feeling and thinking around a particular situation at the moment. Column 2 should show your personal situation stroke home life. And usually I'll find that the mental emotional state refers to the home stroke personal situation. So it's how you're thinking and feeling around maybe something that's going on that's close to home. The third column is your hopes and desires. Hopes and desires are different from an expectation, which is column 4. Hopes and desires are what you're hoping will manifest, and usually it should be something quite positive. Okay. Your expectations, now this can be a negative or a positive thing. So our expectations based on what we've experienced, what's come up prior form, the people around us, the way that the situation is going, the trends, that type of thing that you're experiencing should dictate what you're expecting to happen. And this will usually either confirm your hopes or it will completely contradict them. In column 5, we've got hidden factors. Now the hidden factors is a really crucial part of the reading because it shows what you don't see. Okay, and what you don't see can usually be, it can either negate the expectation or it can confirm it, and indeed the hope. The immediate future should show what will unravel, what will unfold, what you will actually see, and sometimes it can be exactly as what you see in the what do we call it, in the hidden factors, and sometimes it's something completely different. So as I said, the hidden factors are not what you see. So if you're thinking something really negative in the expectation section, it can show actually this looks really rather positive. And in the immediate future, will show what will occur. Your overall outcome should show the way that everything's going to go. Okay, so this should usually show the way that things will go concerning what happens in the immediate future. And I hope that makes sense to you. So we're just going to crack on with your reading now, Libra. Usually I start off with the personal situation first because I feel that just gives me a little bit of grounding. It acts as my anchor concerning everything else. And just to let you know, sometimes the immediate future and the outcome areas will show something completely different. Okay, so last week I did a reading on myself. The 5 areas to show at first were bang smack on. The immediate future and the outcome areas for me were completely, I don't know what this is because it showed the lovers. Now, the lovers can mean a strong relationship. I'm not in a relationship, so I thought that can't refer to me because I'm actually not in one. But it showed me here in the immediate future the page of wands, so I knew that I was going to receive a message. It was to do with the lovers. Now, the lovers can be somebody that you're in love with. It can be a choice that you need to make, or it can indeed mean something that you love. So I knew I'm not in a relationship. I don't know what a message would be coming in terms of something that I need to make a decision over. So I couldn't work that out. So it must be over something that I love. So a message would come in over something that I'm in love with, and it showed the Tower. And this would either be as a surprise to me, or it would be, I calculated at the time, something that would make me rather cross. It so happened that the day before I did this spread, I'd ordered an item of furniture, a sofa that I really loved, just completely fell in love with it. Could imagine it in my apartment, was already working out where I'd put it, completely in love with it. So I figured the next day I woke up and I was expecting this item of furniture to arrive. I looked at my phone found that there was a message from the furniture place to say that they wouldn't. So the message was the Page of Wands. The Lovers was the item of furniture, because the message came about the item of furniture that I'd fallen in love with. And the Tower was that the message was a surprise, and it made me cross, because they said that they weren't going to be delivering the furniture. So the message, Page of Wands, was over the item of furniture that I was in love with, and the Tower represented it made me cross because it was a surprise that they weren't going to deliver it, and also they didn't tell me why. So in the overall outcome, I had the Seven of Swords in the reverse, the Two of Cups, and the King of Cups. So as I then gathered, I called the furniture place to find out why they weren't going to deliver the furniture. So they'd sent me a message over the furniture that I loved, and it was a surprise. It made me cross because they weren't going to deliver it, but they didn't tell me why. So the Seven of Swords said to me then, okay, the reason that this came up was because I would be, number one, revisiting this situation. Number two, they made a confession to me. Seven of Swords can mean that somebody makes a confession over something that's happened. Seven of Swords upright means deception, or it means to get away with. Seven of Swords means I'm going back to make a confession over this thing. So I'm going to be completely open and honest about the situation. So they confessed to me, Seven of Swords, why they didn't deliver the furniture. I.e., it was a case of the supplier hadn't sent the furniture. Also, the Two of Cups, we made an agreement. Now with that Seven of Swords, it also said that there was an agreement made to return. Seven of Swords in the reverse means to return. So we made an agreement that they would return Seven of Swords in reverse, my money to me, in which the situation was resolved in a very calm, understanding, clear and satisfactory way with the King of Cups. Does that make sense? So let's get on with your reading. First of all, I'm going to go to the home life personal section, as I said, because it gives me an anchor. Let's have a look what's going on for some of you guys. Well, we've got the Lovers, the Knight of Cups, and the Hierophant. Now, the Lovers means several things, and as I will say with the tarot, Libra, you literally can't read these cards just as the general meanings. It would be suicide. When I read my own one last week and the Lovers showed up here, a message would receive about the Lovers. It was something I was in love with. It was an item of furniture. It wasn't a man. It wasn't a relationship. It was an item of furniture that I'd fallen in love with. So another word for that Lovers card is to be in love. And you can be in love with anything. So for some of you guys, it might well be a relationship. There might be somebody that you're in love with, the Lovers, that will make you an offer, the Knight of Cups, perhaps to commit with you. Maybe they want to make something more grounded, more stable, more official. So for some of you guys, it could be in your present lives right now. You've been made an offer of marriage. There could be an engagement, but also the Hierophant stands for official. So official doesn't always have to mean an establishment or a certain order. It can also mean I want to make this official, so maybe I want to introduce you to my parents as my girlfriend, boyfriend. Maybe it means I want to take you on holiday and introduce you to my friends. I want to make this relationship official. So it's all about these three cards, I feel, about making a relationship official. For some of you guys, it could easily be work. It could be something that you love, a job, maybe something you've applied for. They're going to make you an offer, and they'll make it official with the Hierophant, or it'll come from an official body, the Hierophant. How do you feel about this? What are you thinking? The World, the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. So for some of you guys, it might be that in a way, if it's a work situation, that mentally you're feeling that you've made a great achievement, because the World means to achieve. It also means to have accomplished something. It also means that something means the world to you. You're feeling on top of the world. So you might be feeling on top of the world because mentally you've made a great achievement. It also might mean that mentally you feel that there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with this job. However, mentally you're seeing dollar signs with the Ten of Pentacles, because you're seeing that even though there's a lot of responsibility here, because you've made a very big achievement, you are going to be entering a time of prosperity and abundance, okay, with the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles for me can also mean, what's the word that I'm looking for with this card? it means high status. So it could be that you're feeling and thinking that there's going to be a lot of burdens on your shoulders because of the particular job that you've actually achieved. So the Ten of Pentacles often refers to someone who is considered to be of great importance, okay? When you get a Ten of Pentacles, this can be a manager, a CEO, a doctor, that type of thing. So it could be that mentally you're feeling, I've achieved something of great status here. The world is on my shoulders, because maybe there's a lot of responsibility around, especially if this is a job, because I am now a person of great status with the Ten of Pentacles. However, it could also mean that if it's a job, that you're on top of the world because you're now able to overcome some difficulties and you are entering into a time of prosperity and abundance with this new job. If it's a love relationship, someone you're in love with makes you an offer and they want to make something official, or they want to make a commitment to you. Mentally, emotionally, you might be feeling on top of the world, that you've overcome some great mountain in terms of the relationship, some obstacles to achieve a far more stable and secure relationship. What are your hopes around this situation? So for some of you guys, if it's work related, it could be that you're hoping, especially if this thing that you love has made you an offer and it comes from an official body, your mental state is, wow, I've achieved the world, but there's a lot of responsibility because I've achieved something of great status. That by somebody giving you help, because we know the Six of Pentacles can often refer to somebody who gives us help, it will help you to overcome your worries with that Three of Swords and enable you to move forward in a far more confident, proactive and adventurous way. For some of you guys, if it's a job situation that you've been offered and your mental state is, wow, I've achieved something of greatness here, I'm overcoming some obstacles, maybe I couldn't find a job, and now I'm in the money, it could be that this offer would lead to you overcoming maybe some disappointments you've had in the past in terms of receiving a job, and you're able to move forward on this new adventure. If it's love, then this relationship, the person that you're in love with, who's made you an offer commitment with the Hierophant, in which you feel and think with the World card, I'm on top of the world, it's a great achievement, we're overcoming a time of difficulty with the Ten of Wands, and it enables us now to move forward into a far more stable and secure relationship. You'll be hoping that this offer will help you to overcome difficulties that you've experienced, maybe some heartbreak, maybe some upset here with the Three of Swords, and will allow you to move forward into a new, passionate and adventurous side of the relationship. Let's have a look what your expectations are. So for some of you guys, if this is a, we've got the Queen of Swords, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups. So it could be for some of you guys, if you have a job, something that you've gone for, something you fell in love with, they've made an offer to you, come through an official body, you might have the world on your shoulders because there's a lot of responsibility, because maybe there's been a change in status with that Ten of Pentacles, could be a promotion here. Maybe your hopes are that you'll be given the help that you need to overcome your worry with that Three of Swords that will enable you to move forward in a far more confident way with that Page of Wands. It could be that you're expecting that you'll become quite assertive, quite cool, quite collected about the job. It will enable you to start creating some form of order in what you do. So maybe you're sensing that things are going to be a little bit chaotic in terms of this new role, and that you'll achieve your dreams with the Page of Cups, because we know that the Page of Cups often refers to certain things that we're quite idealistic about, the way that we dream, the way that we kind of have a certain idealism around situations. It's often for me known as the dream card, fantasy card. But we've got a card that grounds the fantasy in the Emperor. So the Emperor achieves whilst the Page of Cups dreams. So if I were to look at keywords, achieving our dreams, So it could be that your expectations are, by being cool, collected, by being assertive with the Queen of Swords energy, and even by asking questions, because that's what the Queen of Swords does. She's direct, she's open, and she's honest. So if there are any worries around a new job that's coming that you feel that you're not going to cope with, Libra, it could be that you're expecting that if you're open and honest about what you don't know in the Queen of Swords, if you're assertive, that you'll create some form of order and be able to achieve your dreams with the Page of Cups. If it's a relationship situation, it could be that the person you love who makes the offer of a commitment, to which you're thinking and feeling, this is amazing, I feel on top of the world, we're overcoming our struggles and entering into a time of prosperity, abundance, commitment with the Ten of Pentacles. I'm hoping that this offer will enable me to overcome our past problems and enable us to move forward in a far more adventurous, carefree and happy way. Well, I'm expecting that if we're open and honest with each other, with the Queen of Swords, that we'll be able to create some order, we'll be able to build a solid foundation within the relationship, work together as a team, and be open and honest with each other in a far more emotional way. What are the hidden factors? So if this is work related, and as we've said, something that you've fallen in love with, could be a job that you've gone for, promotion, has made you an offer, and it's official, the Hierophant. Mentally, the work now begins. You've achieved the world. You've achieved something of greatness here, but the world is on your shoulders. Maybe you're mentally or feeling there's going to be lots of responsibilities because you've achieved some form of status, or you've changed status with that Ten of Pentacles, because tens also refer to changing status. You may be hoping that you'll receive help that will enable you maybe to overcome some form of insecurities around that Three of Swords, and in which you're able to move forward in a very carefree, confident and adventurous way with this new role. You're expecting that by being assertive, being open, being honest, asking questions, will enable you to start creating order from the chaos and start living the dream with that Page of Cups. What you don't know is that these things are coming in very quickly for you. So you're very well on your way there. We've got the Three of Wands, which means that your ships are coming in over great success with that King of Pentacles, in which new creative ideas, new creative opportunities are opening up to you with the Ace of Wands. So even though for some of you guys, I'm getting the sense, if this is work related, you might be feeling that things are going to take a little bit of time to get into order, because you might be feeling a little bit insecure around a new job or a new promotion that's come to you. You might be worrying, can I handle this? And you might feel that you need your hand held for a little bit of time just to help you to move forward. It's saying, well, hidden factors are, you're doing a great job already. You're well on your way to success here with the King of Pentacles, and new things are opening up to you, and they're exciting with that Ace of Wands. If it's a relationship, it could be saying someone who you're in love with is making an offer to you to make the relationship more official. You're on top of the world. You're overcoming obstacles mentally and emotionally to achieve prosperity and success and stability within this relationship. You're hoping that this partnership, probably with the Six of Pentacles, will allow you to overcome the difficulties in the past that you've experienced within this relationship, and will help you to both move forward with the Page of Wands in an adventurous and carefree manner. Your expectations are that by being open and honest with each other, direct with the Queen of Swords, will eventually allow you to start building a solid foundation within the relationship, in which you can be open with each other emotionally with that Page of Cups. What you don't know is that you're pretty much there already. It could be around a particular person, King of Pentacles, in which this is the start of something quite exciting and quite passionate with the Ace of Wands. The immediate future shows there will be stability and security, both financially and also in other ways with the Four of Pentacles, because Four of Pentacles, all Pentacles don't just refer to money and material things. They also refer to the values that we hold most dear. the people around us. So it can be saying here, especially if you're in a relationship, you're entering into a secure time relationship-wise with that Four of Pentacles. If it's a work situation, it's telling you that in the immediate future you're going to be feeling very secure where you are. Four of Pentacles means to feel secure. There's going to be positive changes around you because you've got the Sun card showing up here, in which there will be the potential for something to be long-term. Ace of Pentacles, and that goes for work or relationship. And the overall outcome shows Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. Now these look fairly negative in a way when I look at them, but then they're good. Because what it's saying to me is overall, you might still have to endure some challenges because you've got the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands means to be challenged and have to stand your ground. So you might still endure some challenges here, but you're going to need to stand your ground around this. Because even though with the Five of Pentacles, you might be feeling that you still need some help, some assistance, because you still might feel a little bit on the outside rather than the in. So if it's a relationship, it might be that you're still having to endure some challenges with your other half, because you might feel a little bit left out in the cold by this person. It might be that, yes, you are achieving something that is very solid within the relationship, in which you're both starting to open up both mentally and emotionally to each other, but there might be times where you do feel that you don't know that person 100%. However, if you continue to work hard at the relationship, it shows that your efforts will pay off, because we've got a Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles means to reap the harvest of a very successful investment. So you make an investment with the Seven of Pentacles, and this lady looks at all of the work that she's put in. She looks at the money that she's saved, the work that she's put into making this thing grow. And therefore, from the work that she's put in, she's seeing the effort which is starting to show. So she's able to pick the pentacles now and put them into her basket. So it's reaping the returns on an investment. So it's the harder that you work, the more you achieve. And it goes the same for work. You might still have some obstacles, some challenges that you're going to need to face, in which maybe you're still going to need to seek some assistance from others with the Five of Pentacles, especially if this is a job that you go into that you're still trying to find your feet in. But it says the harder you work with the Seven of Pentacles, the more successful that you become. Okay? Brilliant, brilliant reading. We'll go through it one more time so we can just do it now completely as a collective. Something you love or someone that you love makes you an offer in your personal life. It's an official thing because we've got the Hierophant, so it can be a commitment or it can be coming from an establishment, official body. You might be feeling on top of the world about this, like you're overcoming struggles, and you're reaching a point of stability and security, especially if it's a relationship, if it's a work situation. Some of you guys might feel that you've got the world on your shoulders because you've got a lot of responsibilities, and there might have been a change of status here with the Ten of Pentacles, i.e. I'm earning more money, therefore I've got more responsibility, so therefore I might feel that I've got the world on my shoulders. Your hopes are that you'll be able to receive some help, some assistance, maybe from somebody quite kind, that will enable you to overcome your fears and doubts with the Three of Swords, and will enable you to move forward in a far more confident way with that Page of Wands. Same for a love relationship, that this partnership, this offer that's been made, will enable you to overcome difficulties in the relationship that you've experienced in the past, and will enable you now to move forward in a carefree, childlike, happy sort of way. What's coming in, or sorry, your expectations are, especially if it's work, you might be expecting that the more assertive and the more confident that you become with the Queen of Swords, the more that you ask questions and you're straight up and you're direct, that therefore, as a result of that, you'll start to be able to create order from the chaos and start living the dream with that Page of Cups. For love, you're expecting, I feel, that the more open and honest you are together about how you're thinking about the relationship will lead you to creating order and a solid foundation with the Emperor that will allow you to become more open emotionally with each other with the Page of Cups, because we know the Page of Cups often represents communication of an emotional nature. What you don't know is that you're pretty much already there. Your ships are definitely coming in. If it's a work situation, you're on your way, to success, which is going to open more doors for you with the Ace of Wands. If it's a relationship, then your ships are coming in, maybe around a particular person, King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles can be, he's usually a very faithful type of individual, he or she, but they can also be very, very careful. Okay, so maybe your ships are coming in breaking down this type of individual here, the King of Pentacles, in which things start to open up in a far more passionate and fiery way with the Ace of Wands. In the immediate future, whether you're in a relationship or whether this is a work-related thing, you'll start to feel more secure because there's going to be positive changes around you with the Sun card, in which there is the potential for long-term, or in which there is long-term potential. So it could be long-term potential within a job. It might be for some of you guys, you're on a trial thing. Or in terms of a relationship, it could be, yes, we've had difficulties in the past, but somebody's really shown me that they love me, they want to commit to me. We're going to work towards building something strong and solid. And therefore, in the immediate future, I feel more secure because things are happening in a very optimistic way with the Sun card. And also with the Ace of Pentacles, I have a view towards this relationship becoming far more long-term. And in the outcome, yes, there still may be some challenges for you to face with the Seven of Wands, and times where you feel, if you're in a love relationship, that you don't really know everything about your partner, or you feel a little bit like your partner might shut you out. However, if you carry on making the effort, putting everything into this relationship, things will start to pay off for you. Same for work. You might still feel, especially if you feel people are against you with that Seven of Wands, because you might feel a little bit out in the cold. It does say that the harder you work, the luckier you'll become. So your efforts still will start to pay off. So it's not saying in this reading, especially if it's work, that everything's going to fall into place immediately, but in the end it will. Okay, you've just got to stand your ground, even if you feel left out in the cold, and even if you don't exactly know what you're doing. Things will pay off for you. If you're in a relationship and you're really kind of trying to get to know your partner, they want to make things more official to you, but still they might be a little bit aloof. It's saying that this person will come round. You just need to put the effort in and work hard on the relationship, because things will turn around for you in the end in a very, very positive way. That is your reading, Libra. 21 card Gypsy tarot spread. Love this reading a lot. Going to be putting it as a personal reading on the website, so if you'd like to order one, you know where to go. I'm going to put it in, probably put it on over the weekend or something like that. But I'd like to say thanks ever so much for choosing Carol's Universe again, and I'll speak to you guys on your October reading. And remember, Libra, you're up first. So I'll speak to you soon. Take care.